Alright, so in this video we're going to be going over contract logic, essentially trying to help you understand should I sign this contract. So here this will be for a fee-for-service contract, and this is also for a provider group that has capitated contracts. So depending on your situation, the type of contracts you have available, your logic will change. So it's important to make sure you develop logic specific to your needs. So the first step, and this really goes for everyone, is just to make sure you have the highest rate a payer is willing to give you. It's difficult to know if that's in fact the highest rate they're willing to give you, but once you run them through your logic, it's essentially going to be a yes-no decision. So just making sure you have that highest rate up front will be helpful as you take them through the process. And then step 2 is to go through this logic. So jump into it. The first question you want to ask yourself is, are the facilities fully booked? So are all your locations and all the schedules fully booked? If those are fully booked, then we'll go to step 2, and we'll do that now. So then again, this is for a provider with capitated patients. You need to ask yourself, are we over providing care to those patients because we don't have enough fee-for-service patients available and the capitated patients are just coming back to the facility and care is being over provided? If the answer to that is yes, you want to sign that new fee-for-service contract if it covers your variable cost of care. In order to understand variable cost of care, again, you're going to have to do a cost structure analysis. In the event that you aren't being overutilized on capitated contracts, the question then is this new contract essentially better than an existing contract? And are we willing to drop an existing contract? If the answer to that is yes, you then sign that new contract. In the event you can't handle all the volume, you then have to understand which contracts to drop. And you could do this via the cost of loss, which is essentially which contract, if dropped, will have the lowest impact to my bottom line, and that's the one you're going to want to drop. So you're going to have to go through that process of understanding which contracts are the most impactful to your bottom line. If you don't have any contracts you're willing to drop, then you need to communicate to that payer what's the rate where you're going to become a long-term winner based off of my net income targets, and communicate that rate to them so that in future years they're aware of the rate that you're looking for. Alright, so we're going to come back now to the first step and assume the no route. So we're here now. If no, does the contract cover your variable cost structure? Again, you need to complete that analysis to understand what your variable cost structure is. If it does, you sign it. If it doesn't, communicate that rate where they become a long-term winner. And so that's basically the overall process for this specific provider group. Reach out again if you want to develop a logic for your own group.